How's it going, everybody? Ian back with another video. Got like, uh, I've been swimming the past week and a half, and I think I've got that swimmer's ear. I don't know. I've been dealing with that. I bought some drops that I just threw in there, so hopefully, I don't know. It's just annoying. But yeah, I've noticed that ever since last week I started swimming, it would I wouldn't be able to hear for a few hours after. So hopefully it'll dry up and we'll be back to normal. But yeah, that just throws everything off. Anyway, I think I got it. I don't know. This is a live Tuesday reading wrap up. I kind of like these because I think I did one last week or whenever I had a day off or something. I like to just come on here, do it live. It was easier to upload, so hopefully y'all don't mind. But I didn't feel like waiting for my internet to upload and stuff. But it's still there. All right, whatever. I'll have to figure that out later. So we are in FFS, the second week, and last week was a classic, and I said this was kind of cheating. But it is technically fantasy, if you will. I mean, it's more science fiction dystopia, which I should have probably read it for our New Worlds November. But you can't see any of that. All right. All right. It is Fahrenheit 51 or 451. Excuse me, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This was pretty dang good, and I definitely, continue in that world. But I don't know if there ever was a continuation, or if this is just a one-off. I guess it's just a one-off. But yeah, it was actually pretty dang good. I don't read too many classics. Just because I think I got burned out in school. I mean, we had to read Of Mice and Men, which I can appreciate Of Mice and Men now. We had to read To Kill a Mockingbird, which I absolutely hated. Great Gatsby, I thought was horrible. The Scarlet Letter. We were kind of forced to read that. Hey, how's it going, John? How are you? We were kind of forced to read those kind of classics in school. But yeah, so we weren't forced to read Fahrenheit 451, and I'm happy to have read that, get that under my belt. And yes, I did enjoy that. And maybe this will open it up for me to read more classics. I know I want to read Dracula, Frankenstein, stuff like that. Maybe in a future read along. But anyway, so that was for. Classic. Right now, I am hitting all the marks for the rest of the weeks with Operation Arcana. This is basically urban fantasy. It's got sword and sorcery stuff in it. There's a lot of different. It's an anthology series, and it's pretty damn good. A lot of interesting stories. I'm really enjoying them. So that'll probably knock out the rest of the month because I've been listening to that. So physical books, what I am currently reading, I've got The House of Assassins by Larry Correia. I'm going to probably finish it up this week. Is getting down there. But this is a very interesting. I like how some world building is set up. So basically, the oceans are taken over by demons. So you cannot go in the water or the demons will get you, which is fantastic. Like, I've never seen that before. Oceans is a curse word. It's the equivalent to fuck or shit in our world when people say oceans, because that's where hell is, basically. That's like kind of like the White Walkers, if you will, of this series. That is the overall problem because the oceans are you know, the demons are evolving to come up on land, basically. So you have a few of those. They come up and raid villages and stuff like that. But our main story, that's like an overall story. Our main story is we have a bunch of guys who are called the Protectors, and basically they're basically like really just like Judge Dredd, if you will. They kill without, you know, whatever. And there's a caste society here, and basically one of the Protectors decides to. It's that trope where, you know what, I'm doing stuff wrong here. I'm going to join the casteless, the low dregs, if you will, of society, and rebel against the system. And he's got to fight against his brothers who were Protectors. They're not his brothers, but they're brothers, as in like an army brother or something like that. So he's got to, and you know, sometimes he'll recruit some guys, like, hey, come to my side and fight for me, like all that fun stuff. But yeah, you know, trying to overthrow the government they have there. But yeah, so this is the second book. I have the Destroyer of Worlds is the third. I don't know if that's the final book. So a book that I am planning to finish today. I'm gonna work on it. Wanderers by Chuck Wendig. This is basically his version of The Stand, the Swan Song. So basically what happens, and I guess this is going to be a TV show, is what they're working on it. So basically people start sleepwalking. Just all of a sudden, out of the blue, a bunch of people start sleepwalking, and then you have their family like following on. They call themselves the shepherds. They're following along this journey that the walkers that they're calling the flock. They're following along, and of course you have society is crumbling because it's also a disease that's killing people as well. This was written in 2019, so there's a lot of weird shit in this book that I'm seeing nowadays. With like they talk a lot about the swabbing, going up your nose and swabbing, which is really like, holy, that's really weird. That's what we're doing now. Like, I think we've always done that, but you know, more people are doing it now. So basically, you've got those, but then you got the militia is rising up, and they're scared of these the walkers, so they want to take them out. So you have the shepherds, if you will, clashing with this militia, and you follows a few different characters, all that stuff. But about 200 pages left. There is a second book to this, but it's basically The Stand. You've got the evil. It's good versus evil. You have the militia is Randall Flagg's crew, and the shepherds is what Mother. I can't remember what her name was. It's Mother something in The Stand. But yeah, so it's some. If you enjoy The Stand, which I personally did not enjoy The Stand, it was kind of boring. I like Swan Song by Robert R. McCammon. And then I am reading Drew Williams, The Stars Now Unclaimed. So this is really fun. This is a science fiction book, which you might be surprised. I'm actually enjoying a science fiction book. I shouldn't say it. I enjoyed Empire of Silence. But I'm really enjoying it. So basically, we have conquered the universe, basically. Not conquered, but we've expanded through the universe. There's all sorts of different Star Wars type creatures that we're living amongst and all that stuff. Then all of a sudden, a pulse comes through the galaxy and knocks out, basically like an EMP. It knocks us all, everybody, the whole galaxy. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. A few worlds will miss, which I will get to. Basically, it knocks all these planets out back to the Stone Age, and our story picks up where the pulse has already happened. It's been years since the pulse happens. Well, the scientists, they find out it's like a wave or a pendulum, I guess. It's coming back, so it's going to reach up, and then it's going to come back, and they have no idea if it's going to come back and wipe out everything or whatnot. Well, scientists have just said when the pulse passed the first time, it gave kids some special powers, kids who were born after pulse, if they're saying. which is a fascinating world building, in my opinion. Like, so these kids have like telekinetic abilities. So they want to gather all these kids together, and maybe we can deflect the pulse when it comes back toward our galaxy. They don't know when it's coming back. They know it's coming back because it's slowing down, and usually that means it's going to come back for another swing on the other side. So, like I said, it did not hit all the worlds. There is a world called, I don't know what they're called, the world their planet's called, but there's this species called the Pax. And the Pax are basically religious zealots who want to conquer the world, conquer the universe, excuse me. And they still have technology. But the thing was, if you go to a planet that's been pulsed, your technology will slowly erode over time the more you use it as well. So if they come down with their laser beam guns, if they fire, might fire off a few shots, but eventually those laser beam guns will crumble, and basically then now you got to fight with swords and sticks and stuff like that. So the Pax want to conquer the universe, and they are also looking for these telekinetic children to recruit into their army. And from they're not the smartest. They're like basically like kind of like orcs, I guess, in the Lord of the Rings. Orcs were not the smartest in Lord of the Rings. Yes, you had a few generals who were, smart and stuff like that. But I guess it comes off the Pax are pretty dumb. They're just before the Pulse, they were like, if you will, North Korea today. We're not really taking them seriously because it's North Korea. They're not like developed, I guess. As developed, not a huge threat. Something to keep an eye on. That's what the Pax were before the Pulse. And now that the Pulse has taken out everybody except for the Pax and a few other people, the Pax have become the great threat in the universe. But so it's basically, it follows this. It's a first-person viewpoint, which I don't really care for first-person viewpoints. They're not. I'd rather have a third person with a bunch of characters like Lord of the Rings, or not Lord of the Rings, like Game of Thrones does, where you're following both sides. They haven't done this yet. Maybe it will happen, but you're basically following a specialist, bounty hunter, maybe sort of, who she is tasked with going to find this one girl who is telekinetic. And she's got which is really interesting, she's got a robot priest called the Barrios. I think that's what they're called, Barrios. Barrios are like robot priests who just preach some sort of religion and stuff like that. But this priest is a pretty damn badass. She's got one of those shotguns, like Predator style, that she uses a lot, which apparently she is somehow not affected by the Pulse, so they're trying to figure that out. Like, so there's something more to these robot priests. They thought they were robot priests, and now they're turns out they're something else. All right, I have a small book haul as well, and one that if you can see the thumbnail here, I found this for $2. This is a first edition hardcover Stephen King Dreamcatcher. Now, a lot people shit on this book. I enjoyed it. I read it back in high school, so maybe it did not. It's not. Maybe that's why. I don't know why. Maybe I was reading garbage stuff in high school, but it was I got this for $2 actually. Excuse me. This is half price books at my area, and it looks brand new. It was $28. So, but I know. So I figured, heck, first edition Dreamcatcher. It's probably not going to be worth much because it's not the best, I guess, but who knows? But I enjoyed it. I might reread it. But I was very excited to get this for pennies, basically. And then I have been hearing this while I was also there. I picked up Gene Wolfe's The Book of the New Sun, Volume 1. This has I believe it says it has two of the books in here. I have heard a lot about this. I've heard it's kind of difficult to read. But yes, John. Like I for some reason, you can find a nice hardcover. Like they last good. It's $2. You can't beat that. But and they don't get beat up as much. But I do prefer paperbacks just because I can carry these. It's easier to haul around in my bag or whatever. easier to hold. I don't know. There's something about a good paperback, but this will probably get beat the hell up when I'm starting to read this. But I've heard this is somewhat of a difficult read. This is the first two. This is a Shadow of the Torture and Claw of the Conciliator. Okay, I might, I don't know, maybe I'm having a stroke or whatnot, but got this for $5. It looks actually pretty brand new. Not sure when I'm going to read it. This also looks like it's a first-person narrative, so whatever. To each their own. But it looks pretty cool. It's got this sword guy. Let's see here, and then I picked up Andy McDermott's Operative 66. Andy McDermott, he writes the Eddie Chase Nina Wild series, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's another. I know. I always say this. It's like Indiana Jones on steroids. It's great. There is a rumor that it's going to become a Netflix show. Which, if they got Jason Statham to play Eddie Chase, that would be phenomenal. Basically, what that series is, it's Nina Wild is a archaeologist, and her boyfriend / husband, who gets married. They get married in the next few books there. Because I think there's 12 books. So over the 12 books, they get married, have children, have a child at least. And so the first one is called The Hunt for Atlantis, and of course, what it says is, you go and they're trying to find Atlantis. And of course, you always have a maniacal villain billionaire guy who sends out mercenaries to, fuck up their plans, if you will. And of course, the mercenaries they know who Eddie Chase is, and Eddie Chase is I know that guy, and he's an asshole, blah, blah, blah. And they always come and get into fights in cool ways and awesome chase scenes, and just all around, just brilliant, so much fun. So I did get this when it came out on my Kindle, and I did not like it. I'm going to give the book a try. I don't know why I didn't like this. This one is basically, it follows a guy named Alex Reeve, who is a special ops soldier in the UK. He's like an assassin. And it's that trope where he gets betrayed by his team, his bosses. So now he's got to go on the run, and his old team is chasing him, and he's got to figure out why. So it's one of those tropes, and maybe that's why I just didn't like it the first time. I didn't finish it the first time. I only got like 100 pages in, or 100 swipes in, if you will, and just couldn't do it anymore. But so I'm going to give this another shot. There are 3 books in this series. I don't know when he's going to go back to Eddie Chase Nina Wild. I hope he goes back. Or, I hope he starts anew with something else, because, the last few Eddie Chase Nina Wild books I didn't care for, but I would love to get one again, just because you don't know what you got till it's gone, right? So I think that's it. I'm going to try to finish up Wanderers tonight, and then I'm going to get more into this one. And I don't see a lot of people talking about this. This is Drew Williams, The Stars. It's called the Universe After series. There's 3 books in this: A Chain Across the Dawn, and the Firmament of Flame. I don't know. Maybe I hit my head swimming. But I'm really enjoying this series. So maybe this will become a new thing on book 2. But that's all I got for everybody. I hope y'all take care. Wonderful. Thanks for stopping by, John. I look forward to seeing some of your stuff on the YouTube. I enjoyed the last video you put out. It's awesome. And that's all I got. So yeah, I'm gonna probably, I have my first day off in a while, and I go back to work tomorrow. But yes, I'm gonna spend the night reading, relaxing, and I don't know. get some waffles later. I'm craving some waffles. All right. Take care.